Hey everyone, this is Lacey Dawn Jackson, the Groovy Green Goddess, and you are here on 1-2 Radio. Oh my gosh, what a week it is. I am just, I don't know, astounded at how much stuff could just go and be up in the air, and especially when I have been simplifying my life and all that. But anyway, welcome to Thursday, the Groovy Green Goddess, and I'm glad you're here. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to take a listen to me. And we are going to talk about the Sacral Chakra this week, as well as what the fairies have to say. Live readings in the chat room will also occur. So if you do not belong in our chat room over at Facebook, and it's our chat room, 1-2 Radio chat room, where my Scott, the producer, got that backwards. But anyway, I guess he is my Scott this hour because he is my producer. And thank you for producing me and keeping me on track. And he will let you into the chat room, and you can find the banner of my mug, and you can ask a question, and I will see what the fairies have to say about it, see what the universe has to say, and hopefully point you in a direction that will be groovy for you. Anyway, so we have that going on. And also, we have Health Matters. Later on in the broadcast, I will be talking a little bit about what we can do to help ourselves be more healthy. And, you know, that reminds me of something I'm going to be doing tomorrow. And I'm not exactly sure what time because it's like Denmark time. It's over in England time, and I have yet to figure out, I think, Pacific Standard Time. It is going to be around noon or 1 o'clock that I will be over on my Facebook page, the Lacey Dawn Jackson author psychic page, doing a 10-minute blurb on what food does to affect our mind. So I am doing that within part of a group that I belong to. That is a mentoring group. I'm being mentored and learning so much about different aspects of the business, and also being held accountable to get my book finished. So anyway, I signed up for this, and I hope you can tune in. And that, again, is tomorrow, Friday, the 25th at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on my official Facebook page, Lacey Dawn Jackson, author, professional psychic. So, yeah, I hope you can join me. Hi, Cheryl and Tara. They are in the live Facebook under my live Facebook feed. So I really appreciate you tuning in and seeing what I have to say today. I don't even know what I have to say today. You know, it's been one of those weeks where I have been simplifying lots of things in my life. Things that are like work related, so I have more time to finally finish this book, as well as being more available online instead of traveling here and there and everywhere to do things. And it has been a little bit of a challenge. Also, I'm realizing, and this is something that I've realized before, but it's like coming right back into my face. I live in a tiny house, and I'm always remodeling or arranging my tiny house so I can have more efficient and effective space. And you know how hard that is when, you know, it's like a maybe a 9 by, oh goodness, maybe 18, you know, foot space. And part of that is my bed. And yeah, it's been challenging. So with that being said, I can't find anything. I rearranged things and I can't find it. And I'm working on utilizing the space. Now, a lot of the stuff has been out on my porch right now. Just because it's not raining, it's nice. I'm hoping that it doesn't rain so I can keep the stuff on my porch. It's tricky. I am noticing this with clients that I'm talking with this last week, that things are awry. I mean, in the, you know, things aren't necessarily going in the direction that we had originally planned. Computer issues are taking the forefront, and that's certainly happening in my life. My computer is just not acting right. I think it's sick, and it's since I did an update. And it's like, okay, if you're going to update my computer, then, you know, have it work better and more efficient instead of not good at all. And you know, it's only a couple years old, but yeah, I guess that's, you know, outdated, especially in this time and space that we live in. That 2-year-old computer is like way old. So, yeah, looking at my options there. So if you are going through some challenging times this last week, you know, it may continue until the 1st of next week. That's anyway when I like check in with the universe. That's what the universe is saying is, hey, you know, be patient here. I'm very grateful this weekend for the first time in probably 20 years that I am not going someplace or working anywhere on Memorial Day weekend. And I'm so excited because I get to stay here. I get to stay home, and I'm going to plant some happy flowers and do some things to, you know, just make my space a little more comfy. And I really don't have anything on the books, which is very out of the norm for me because I am a planner. You Virgos out there will totally understand that we have to have everything written down in our planner books. And yes, I still have an old planner book. I have yet to go to the electronic planner, which I'm getting there. I start doing it and then I just always go back to the comfortable planner that I can have tangible in my hand. So yeah, it's a lot of space, and we are being asked right now in our lives to create that space, whether we know what we're going to do with that space. Actually, it's really not a good idea to try to plan what is in that space, but to step out of our comfort zone and be willing to sit in this space that is unfamiliar to us. And so I'm certainly doing that for 4 days straight. And yikes, you know, I have noticed I've been like trying to like, maybe I'll go work here or fill in here. And it's like, Lacey, just sit still. So that's what the universe, that's, you know, really what the fairies right there, the fairies are advising us to do, is to create this space and be okay with not planning too far ahead and being and remaining in the moment of this space. So, oh, yes, it is. It is a little tricky in doing that. So, so at 10 o'clock every day I get I get a joke of the day and a word of the day, which I'm so excited because starting in June, I'm bringing back the fairy scopes over at 12listen.com. And prior to that, years ago, I also did a word scope. And I love words. I'm going to incorporate a word of the month that the fairies are going to choose. So who knows what kind of words these are going to be for each sign. Starting in June, and the first Thursday of each month, I will be going over what the fairy scopes are for the month and what you can benefit from, as well as what to watch out for, so you can continue to have these opportunities and maybe not trip and get lost or take the road over there instead of the road over here. So the joke of the week. All right. Oh, okay. So Wordsworth just told me that this joke is his favorite. So here it is. What's more amazing than a talking owl? Does anybody know? What's more amazing than a talking owl? All right, here it goes. Here comes the answer. A spelling bee. R. Oh, it is so important for us to laugh every day, whether we're having the worst day ever. It's which I'm not, but it's so important that we find humor, even if it is with a silly, simple, silly joke. So there's your joke. And I would invite you to share it with someone today. Yeah, do. Make their day. Or have them think that you're really corny. But, that's okay too. So let's go right smack into the chat room. Hi, everyone. LM likes Jan. So, I see it. LM, I see that you said hi to me, Elizabeth, and Jan. So, welcome. Thanks for coming in to the chat room and saying hi. And absolutely. Alicia and Rebecca, Nancy. Hey, everyone. Yes. Thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to listen to me, the Groovy Green Goddess. So, what are we going to talk about today? I already, Memorial Day is coming up, and it's always a great opportunity to sit in silence for just a few minutes and honor our loved ones who have passed. Honor the military, all the military, all the people that are on the front lines for us, that do such good things in keeping America safe and keeping people, keeping us safe and keeping people just being people. So I would invite you this weekend to maybe do an act of kindness for someone, whether you know them or not. I say doing it for a stranger. And I think that would be a really good idea. Doing it for a stranger. Do something nice. And taking some time for that silence to honor our loved ones and the military. I think I will probably go out to the cemetery. I just got this idea. Go out to the cemetery, say hello to some of my relatives, although I believe that we don't have to necessarily go to a cemetery to do that. But have you ever walked through a cemetery? There is something quite magical, tangible, the energy of times gone by, of events that have happened. Maybe you feel some sadness walking through a cemetery. I remember years ago when I lived up in Seattle. I lived South Seattle. And when I would take Caleb, who is my youngest son, to daycare every day, we would pass this huge, gigantuous cemetery. And every morning he would say, I want to stop there, Mom. I want to stop there. I want to stop at the cemetery. And, of course, being a single mom and, always like, flying by the seat of my pants and making things work, I never made time to stop at the cemetery. And finally, one day, after months and months of Caleb always saying, I want to stop at the cemetery, there was one day that I made it a point to, I carved out some space. We stopped at the cemetery, and Caleb gets out of the car and he starts going, woohoo! And he's like running through the cemetery and he's like, woohoo! And just yelling and just, he was so happy, yelling, and he was like going by the cemetery, the blocks and the monuments and going, hi! And it just, it was just such a lovely experience. And then, after that, he didn't say he wanted to stop by the cemetery anymore, which is really not what I was anticipating or thinking that it would do that. But it really got it out of him that he ran through this cemetery, just, waking the dead, because that's what he was doing. He was really loud. And I haven't thought of that for many moons. I'll have to remind him of that when I see him this weekend and see if he remembers it. I think he was about, 7 or something like that. But he must have been younger because it was daycare and not school that I was taking him to. So, yeah, kids are great. Kids will keep us aligned if we allow it. Kids will help balance us and help with our inner child. Our inner child is so important to, remain immersed in our inner child. So let's go into the chat room here. And, okay, so Rebecca would like a reading about a move that she just made to a new city. It seems difficult to find community. Oh, yes. It is challenging, depending on where it is in the world that we move. Depends on whether it's easier to find community or not. I know for myself, when I lived in Ireland for a while, that everyone was very nice to me. And I got out of my comfort zone and I did a few things and in hopes to find my tribe and my community. And it was very challenging because it seemed that they would only let me in so much. And of course, when we think about our own lives and how easy we let someone in, it may not be that way for other communities, because after talking to different people that had been transplants from another country to Ireland, they also expressed that finding the community, and that they would only let us in so far. And what I learned in that process is that sometimes it takes us a lot longer than we anticipate in finding our community. And because of that, it's a great opportunity for us to find more of our authentic self. And certainly it will bring some dark days, probably, because what is one of the hardest things for us to do in this life is to dig deeper in our own spiritual self. Well, unless you think me, myself, and I, then it's selves. So be patient. I am getting that you will find your tribe. And it's also a good opportunity for you to date yourself. It opens up avenues for you to do things by yourself. And that will also bring in that energy of that community. But be patient, because sometimes depending on where you are is all contingent on how you are let into a community. So I've had people, I live in the Northwest, and I have had discussions with people who move to the Seattle area, and they find that finding their tribe is quite challenging, because it's as if everyone already has their tribe, or that they are very independent, and so they don't necessarily, they're not looking for a tribe or a new friend. Now that's not the case with everything, but it is what I have heard from different people that have moved to the area and they're still finding their tribe. Some of the things that we can do in order to find our group, our tribe, is to do things that you have wanted to do. Maybe you're wanting to do, let's say since I live in the Puget Sound, maybe you want to learn how to sail, or you want to canoe or something, since there's so much water around. And you're waiting for someone to do it with. Why wait? Maybe you will meet some of your tribe doing something like that. Taking a class, a sailing class, taking a canoeing with a group. But it's important that we date ourselves and that we continue to explore. There are so many meetup groups, and I get that for you, Rebecca. Look into the meetup groups. Look into what they have to offer and what piques your interest. And by you doing that, you can show up at an event that piques your interest, that you're there for yourself to learn, to communicate with like-minded individuals. And with that, if you consistently go, don't give up. Don't go someplace one time and go, oh my gosh, I can't find my tribe here. I can't find my community. When someone sees us on a consistent basis, even though you go to these groups and it's like, oh my gosh, nobody's talking to me. Or, you know, I say something and they're just like, oh, okay. And keep going back. And that might be a really challenging thing. I'm hearing noises back there. Anyway, keep going back and stay focused on, okay, this is for me. I'm going to do this. Don't let it get to you that, oh, I haven't been talked to, or it's really hard to break into a conversation that I know nothing about, or that they're talking about different things that have happened. And, you know, show up. Keep showing up with a smile on your face. Yeah, it will definitely take you out of your comfort zone. But I do see where you will find your tribe, and stay persistent there. Okay? Because, oh, we have a visitor here. We have a visitor. Now, this visitor knows that she's not to disturb Grandma. So I'm just letting you know that someone may come and sit on my lap because she's trying to get in. And she's trying to be very quiet. But hi, Miss Ellie. I'm on the radio right now. So, we will pull a card for you, Rebecca, in regards to your move. So, Miss Ellie, you are right on time here. Would you pick a card for Rebecca? Okay. The card that she picked, stay focused. And I think I just said that just a few minutes ago, is about staying focused. Stay focused. Continue to keep going to the groups. Continue to stay focused on going on to the groups. And it's really important because I do see that you're going to find your tribe. You're also going to find out more about you, yourself. And, okay, I have someone taking over the radio show here. So, it is very important to stay focused on going to the group, okay? And it will feel uncomfortable. I get that. But keep doing it, and keep doing it for yourself, because you're going to find that you grow in body, mind, and spirit. Okay? So, yes. Perfect. So, another signs from above. Pay attention to the signs from above. Especially when you are going to a new community. Oh, music. Go see some music, Rebecca. That's what the little prophet is telling you. She just chose another card for you. So go see some music there. And we don't need any more cards at the moment, Miss Ellie. All right. So we were going to talk a little bit about the Sacral Chakra. Now, the Sacral Chakra is an orange. It is that orange energy that is that surrounds, that is part of that sacral area of our body. And when we are focused on the Sacral Chakra, it has to do with being over emotional. It also has to do with being, like our addictions, our excessive behavior, pleasure, our feelings, our emotions, our healthy sex drive. It's about attachments. Do we have an attachment to things? Do we? You have an attachment to who? Me? Okay. So it's important to pay attention to our behavior in that. Okay. I'm very distracted by fairies today. I apologize, but I have one big fairy sitting on my lap that is a wigglewort. So, anyway, the sacral chakra is associated with water, whereas last week we talked about the root chakra is the earth and, you know, the balance, the earth. So, the sacral chakra is located right below the navel. When you want to focus on this, there are so many things that we can do to focus on our sacral chakra. And we are going to just cover the simple techniques. As simple as visualizing orange. If you're feeling attached to something or an outcome, if you find that you are attached to an outcome, maybe you are meeting someone and you have this attachment to how they are going to be. You know, it could be, you know, Rebecca, yes, Ellie burnt herself yesterday or a couple days ago on a cookie pan. That's what she's showing you here. But maybe you have an attachment to that. Oh, you expect that you're going to meet somebody right away. Open yourself up. Be very open to going, being with yourself, because it's such a grand opportunity to get to know more of yourself. And then, you know, things will start to manifest. But it is that attachment that we, you know, that comes from that sacral chakra. So, some of the affirmations that we can utilize for our sacral chakra is, I think we'll see if there is another card, and we'll go back to that in a minute. Okay, so Valerie, welcome to the show, Valerie. Water. I am watering my sacral chakra right now. Very important to hydrate, especially anytime. So Valerie would love a card about potentially moving and a new job. Okay. There's been a lot of movement recently in the readings that I do and the people that I see for readings, that everyone is moving. Things are shaking up in our life, and it is uncomfortable for many of us. I do see that there's, you know, what I'm getting is there's this like stumbling piece, or this stumbling block that may occur. Maybe it's the divine timing, Valerie. Maybe you're still getting the ducks in a row, and that it will happen. It just may not happen in the time that you would like it to happen. Make sure that you're remaining very connected with, I think the fairies got the giggles here. So staying very connected with yourself and with the present moment, okay? With the present moment. What is the present moment speaking to you? And if the present moment, you know, paying attention to your mind is like, I don't want to be here anymore. I want to move. I want to do this and this and this. Take some time out to just stand in the present moment, in where you are right here, right now. Okay? Very important to do that, because then things will start to move right along, and you will definitely feel that shift, experience that shift. And you know, I do get that it's almost like, and this may be a little scary for you, what I'm about to say, but when I look at the moving and the new job, when you get yourself in that space where you can move, you may have to commute a little bit, or the job thing won't look as you want it to look right here, right now. But once you move, the job opportunity is going to move as well and move forward for you. So I see a new job coming to you, but it's after you move. Now that's a little probably backwards than what you would ideally like it. It's that universe's way of us being prompted to jump, and knowing the net will appear, knowing that, you know, all you need is a little bit of pixie dust, a little bit of space to, a little bit of faith, space, and a little bit of space, but a little bit of faith to move, as well as manifest that job. All right. So Miss Ellie, why don't you go out there for a minute and feed the birdies? Go feed the birdies. The food is on the table there. All right. So, Catherine would love a reading around my new home, as I will move in about 3 weeks. Congratulations. It feels very much like, oh my gosh, so many new exciting things are going to happen. Don't let yourself get stressed out. It feels like there is like some like, oh, you know, I want to get this right and that right. If you don't get the boxes all unpacked, you know, like you would like it to, because of your, all right. These fairies today. Anyway, so, making sure that you get, you know, just enjoy being there, and you don't necessarily have to, get all your stuff unpacked. And maybe there are some things you want to do. You have all summer. So slow down, smell the roses, drink some coffee or tea, and enjoy the space, because it feels as if you do not have to go and get everything unpacked at the time. Okay, so let's see what the cards have to say here. Let's see what the cards have to say. Please don't lean on that, because that whole thing is going to come down. Go. Go. Go now. All right. So, trust. That's what's coming up, is the trust card. Trust that everything is going to turn out very good for your new path, Catherine, and that you will be having a good move. This would be the time that I would take a commercial break usually, but since I'm Facebook Live, I cannot take a commercial break. So I'm just going to let the fairies buzz around, and yeah, anyway. Creative expression. I'm also getting, Catherine, that this move to this new home will open up some avenues of creative expression that you have not been able to utilize in the past. It's like things will clear up, or there will hold space. So that's exciting. It feels very good. Feels very exciting. So, health matters. I want to talk about health matters for a moment. So, you know, like, for example, I'll use this for an example. There was a time that I would get very stressed out if my show, I have an attachment to it. That's our sacral chakra. Having an attachment to how it's going to unfold, how it's going to go. And then all of a sudden, a little fairy jumps in and tries to take over the show. And is just, you know, being a little fairy. So, you need to go. Just like that. So, it's really important to let go of those attachments. Let go of those attachments to how things are going to be. And with that, you'll find that your stress level goes down because you know what? Nothing is ever perfect. And we might as well quit trying to get it perfect. And that it's important to go with the flow. It's important to go with the flow. When things like pop up and we're not expecting them to pop up. So, yeah, since this is happening, I have noticed this happening throughout the week for many of my clients that don't have an expectation and don't have an attachment to how things are going to unfold. Because guess what? They're probably not going to unfold the way that you want them to unfold. So you might as well let it go. Okay. So let's do another reading. I'm going to go into the chat room here. Okay, Nancy, we're going to do a card for Nancy. Hey, are you going to pick a card? Since you're here, I'm going to get you to work. Pick a card for Nancy. All right. Oh, we have two cards for you, Nancy. Self-appreciation and kindness. It's very important. Now, you know, those two cards go hand in hand. They really do. It's about appreciating yourself, appreciating what you already have in yourself. It's not about stuff, but it is more about appreciation in, you know, yourself, being kind to yourself. Okay. And, you know, seeing the good in you and seeing that, you are, definitely, in a place right now where you have the opportunity to, excuse me. No, this isn't funny, Miss Ellie. Okay. You need to go and feed the birds.
I did.
I don't care. Feed them more. They're hungry. Go feed the birds right now. So, this is an opportunity for you, Nancy, to be observant in how you're talking to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. And that there is this self-expression that wants to come out. And it's a perfect opportunity for you to be more of your authentic self. Okay? So, you know, that self-appreciation, taking time to just hug yourself, love yourself. Even with all the warts and everything, okay? When we take that step to love ourselves, no matter how we are right here, right now, it absolutely shifts and changes our energy, okay? It changes our energy. So, very important there. So, Nancy, take this weekend, the rest of the week to pay attention to how you're self-talking and be kind to yourself. Maybe take yourself out or buy yourself something that you've wanted. Take a walk in the quiet forest or along the riverbank. Do something that will also get you outside, because it will help dissipate some of those feelings that you're being awfully hard on yourself, and you don't need to do that. So anyone who is tuning in and listening to this reading, if this reading resonates with you, then this reading is for you as well. So it's very important. So let's go into what affirmations that I want you to write down on the Post-it notes, index cards, tape it up in your dashboard or by your computer. Record them in your own voice. Record them in your own voice and listen to them over and over again. Okay? So the Sacral Chakra affirmations. I am creative in all areas of my life. So this weekend is a perfect opportunity to get something that you want to do in a creative manner. What is it that you would like to do? If it's as simple as coloring in a color book, that would be creative. If it's, something to do with planting your garden or something. I know people that are planting their garden because it's the season here. Maybe it's, reading a book and doing the exercises in the book. Maybe it's a self-help book and you're doing the exercises. That is being creative. That's helping you, body, mind, and spirit. That is also the health matter of the week, is, doing something to inspire you creatively in this week to come, this weekend to come. For me, I have been collecting all these little fairy hats that are like the tops of acorns and, just different things that I have collected through the years, and I'm getting them out. I've been putting them in little drawers of this drawer thing that I have, and I'm going to get all that out. And Miss Ellie and I are going to start building fairy houses and putting little fairy creatures in the forest along our path that we walk. And it's going to be lots of fun to do that, because we're going to be bringing in more fairies. And so I would invite you to get more creative in this week, during this weekend. So the next affirmation is, I am open to receive all that life offers. What are you waiting for? So what if you have to step out of your comfort zone? I am open to receive all that life offers. It's important. Don't wait. What are you waiting for? Okay? So do something that you've been waiting to do. Do something that you would like a change. You have to do and make changes in order to live your life differently. All right? So that affirmation is very powerful. So here's a biggie. Here's a good affirmation if we find we are having attachments, which is the Sacral Chakra. And it will help us let go. So it is, I forgive. This is the chakra that we can work on forgiveness. I forgive my past. And I embrace all of the positive moments of the present. I'm going to say that again because it's an important one, especially for those of us who feel we've been jilted or taken advantage of, or just someone has done us wrong. Forgive. You're spending a lot more energy on it than they are, okay? Guaranteed. So say this affirmation over and over again. I forgive my past and embrace all of the positive moments of the present. Next one, the next and last one. I have a healthy state of passion. Be passionate. Be passionate, people. That's what life is all about. I have a healthy state of passion and sexual desire in my life. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that we have to get it on or anything, but it is about that passion within us. And that passion will help invoke that creative juice within us. Okay? That creative juice. So we are getting ready to wrap up. Go feed the birds, Miss Sally. I don't care. Feed them. They are really hungry. Go feed more. Feed them. All right. So we are coming towards the end of our show, but I wanted to do another reading before we run out of time. And I do want to let you know that I will be over at Want to Listen all weekend. So come visit me over there. I would love to have you visit. So here is the next card, the last card before we go on into our week. To make your decision, ask yourself, which way brings me closer to divine, which brings me to my divine purpose. So with that being said, I leave you today. Blessings to you. And you know, when the fairies come and they're like niggling at you, stay calm, stay cool, stay collected. All right? Okay. See you next week.